Saeed is along with us on the sidelines as well. As Smitty, we get ready here for the host team to take the ice. In the opening ceremonies of the tournament going on in the background behind us, the Warriors will face off against the Pandas to try to punch the second ticket to the to the U Sports semifinals, ahead of tomorrow's two quarterfinals as well, between Bishops and UBC in the afternoon and Toronto versus UNB in the evening. Head to head, let's look at the tail of the tape, Smitty. The Alberta Pandas, a defensive juggernaut in the regular season.
Yeah, absolutely. Goaltender Grace Glover has been absolutely outstanding for the Pandas. A .73 goals against average, which is basically unheard of in a league like this. With a .962 save percentage as well. She's been an absolute weapon in between the pipes for these Pandas.
Yeah, only 29 goals allowed, so we know that the Pandas know how to keep the puck out of the net. They're going to try to score enough goals to win this game. Madison Willen will be a key part to that. 23 points, led the team in the regular season, 5 points in 5 playoff games as well for the Pandas. Willen, a fifth-year science major out of Edmonton, will be a key part of this Panda team if they want to get on top of the Warriors early here and get themselves into the national semifinal. For the Warriors, Carly Orth, the OUA MVP, she'll be key. And we will throw it to a break and be back with Puck Drop after this. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur ici-tout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est ici-tout.tv.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2025 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family-owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Welcome back to the Woolwich Memorial Centre, the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena, to the 2025 Miller Waste U Sports Women's Hockey Championship on CBC. Opening ceremonies done, and now we're ready to play some hockey in the second quarterfinal of this opening day, Thursday. Adam McGuire and Amanda Smith with you. And Smitty, we talked a little bit off air about this game and the prospects of both these teams. The Alberta Pandas, the stingiest team in the country, 29 goals against. And as always in these single game eliminations, the first goal, a huge one tonight.
Yes, super important for these Warriors to come out and play their game. It's an interesting tournament because it's the 8th seed here is the host team once again, but every single team in this tournament did make their conference finals. So it's nothing but finalists and champions here in this tournament, which you don't often see from the host team. So a 1-8 matchup on paper, but probably a little bit closer than you'd assume for that kind of distance and seeding. And the Warriors love to score goals. The Pandas love to not allow goals. So it's going to be an interesting matchup on that front tonight.
Pandas 24-3-1 in regular season play. They swept UBC in the Canada West final with 2 overtime wins, both overtime winners from Abby Soiko. Waterloo Warriors this year 18-2-6. Just a reminder, CBC Sports is the home for university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports men's hockey teams as they face off in the 2025 U Cup. U Sports BioSteel U Cup in Ottawa. Action is underway today on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. First game of that tournament went into, the last check I had, into triple overtime between Mount Royal and TMU. A little bit of rug residue here to clear away after the ceremonies. And we are set to go. Warriors and Pandas.
Yeah, this is only the second time these two teams have ever met. The only other meeting between these two, a preseason game in the 2016-17 season, which the Pandas took 4-1. So two teams brand new to each other here on the national stage.
Nikki McDonald chases in after it. Gracie Smith is there for the Warriors as well as it's kicked along the boards by Cazell. Erica Porter couldn't keep it in, so she'll circle back at center ice and have Lindsay Atchison tipped back in behind Grace Glover, the Canada West goalie of the year. She will pounce on that for an offensive zone face-off early on with Nikki McDonald on the doorstep.
It's going to be key for the Warriors tonight to get pucks to the net. As we said, Alberta not allowing many goals, but also not allowing a lot of shots. So I think if the Warriors are going to come out successful here tonight, they're going to want to put 25-plus shots on Glover and really test her.
18.2 shots per game in the regular season, Alberta. That's all they allowed. As the Warriors come on with their top line, Tatum James couldn't find it. It's pitched past by Lomback, but back for it is Bestick, and it's cleared outside of the line. Knocked down by the Waterloo captain, Leah Herford. One of 2 OUA MVPs on this line. Herford from 23, on with Orth, this year's MVP. Reich circles back. Down low it comes. Too far there for Reagan Udall. Udall with it. Now back to the line it comes. Into the far side corner. Jalen Duffy trying to work over 2 Panda forwards, and it's skated up and out to the line, but not out by Herford. She will force it out and lay a body early on. That gets the Waterloo fans happy. Both teams change as Orth has it on the near side. Intercepted at center ice and brought back in by Craig. Faith Mitchell cuts that one off, and Kiara Wright tries to chop it out. Pandas have pinched down now twice to keep plays alive. See if the Warriors adjust to that. To the line it comes, and a wrister wide of the net. Batted in behind the goal line by the goal stick of Kara Mark, the OUA goaltender of the year, as that one is flipped up and clips a Warrior stick on the bench for another stoppage here inside the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, this first line for the Warriors, successful for them all year. Between the 3, Orth, Herford, and James, they have 71 combined points, but also a team that loves to play on the edge. That same line combining for 84 penalty minutes. As we like to see them throw the body, get a little gritty, get into those dirty plays, but also so successful offensively.
To the net front, poke check. Abby Soiko tried to drag it in front and didn't quite get there. Now a shot from the point deflected wide. That was Melnick's point shot. She'll get it back, and Melnick plays it in deep. This is Alberta's most dangerous line. Keyser in front, the puck comes, and it's skated away. Pritchard couldn't clear the zone, though. Alberta still with the pressure in the offensive zone. Abby Soiko behind the net. Soiko tries to center into the high slot. It's poked to the line. Kept in by Melnick. Far side, Lajoie. Alberta captain, Izzy Lajoie. She'll pull up. Centering pass in front, stopped by Mark, and a great save from the Waterloo keeper as Kara Mark makes the game's first big stop.
Yeah, great job by Mark there to stay on that one. An extra little poke afterwards, able to hold her ground, keep that out of the net. As you said, Adam, goalie of the year there for the OUA and Kara Mark. So we'll look to her if they're going to want to fend off this top seed tonight.
Off the draw, Alberta wins it. Poked out to center ice, overskated there by Pizzuti. To the near side, Annie King. Inside of her own line, Alexandra Black on the far side, got it as far as center ice, cut off there by the Warriors. Erica Porter in behind her own net. Tries to play it quickly. The forecheck came, and it's at the side of the net where Mark Comley will pounce and cover up as well.
Atchison taking a little bit of a weird fall there behind the net. Little slow back to the bench. That's one of Waterloo's strongest defensive players, so hopefully all right there. She'll get her helmet fixed up a bit.
Off the draw, Udel's shot was blocked. And it's cleared off the glass, kept in. Poked out now by Gracie Smith. Nikki McDonald to follow up, but it's flipped into the Waterloo bench. Another stoppage here, as both teams kind of just feeling each other out right now.
Yeah, a little bit more offensive possession here from the Pandas in the Waterloo end. The Warriors will have to be careful here to make sure they're not allowing too much sustained pressure and let some of these high-powered Panda offensive players settle into this game.
Sarah Cazell behind her own net. Forecheck comes from the Warriors. Smith nearly stole it. And retreating there is Soiko. Nearly lost it in front of her own net. Cazell is there too. Stolen there by Smith momentarily, but it's taken back by the Pandas, and Willen has it through center ice. Soiko bodied off the puck before she could gain any momentum in the offensive zone. Jalen Duffy now up at the center ice, too far for Emma Thornton. Melnick will be back for it, and icing is the call against the Warriors, as Emma Thornton, the rookie out of Kitchener, Ontario, double overtime hero in the OUA semifinal game 2 against Nipissing, couldn't knock it down.
Yeah, this line here, McDonald, Thornton, and Gracie Smith, those are 3 new players to the Warriors this year. 2 freshmen, 1 transfer from the University of Toronto, and they've been absolutely outstanding. Two rookies on this line combining for 24 points in 24 games, and that's just goes to show how deep this Warriors offense is.
Pandas back on the forecheck, but Sarah Bestick's going to find the puck before Izzy Lajoie, the Alberta captain, could. It's banked off the glass and out, and another icing call here against Waterloo. Stop and go start here to the first period.
Yeah, the Warriors having trouble right now keeping pucks on their sticks and making some clean breakout passes out of their end, so they're just trying to get those off the glass into the neutral zone, but so far they've gone a little too far, and we've had this line hemmed in for a while here now.
Warriors win that draw. Morden is over to try to keep it in. King was there as well, but Waterloo's got possession now. Nikki McDonald. An outrageous playoff for her, 7 goals in the 5 playoff games, as Mark will freeze that one.
Yeah, McDonald, an excellent addition to the Waterloo forward unit this year. Played against the Warriors in the McCall Cup final last year, playing for the Warriors in the McCall Cup final this year. Unfortunately unsuccessful on both ends, but again, Adam, 7 goals in the playoffs, an absolutely outstanding run for her.
And Nikki McDonald, the grad transfer from the University of Toronto. She does have a McCall Cup title with the Blues from 2023. Off the draw, here's Tews. Her shot wide of the net. Funny bounce off the end boards, and Mark had to be careful with it. Tews can't reach it. No icing this time, so back in her own zone. Comes twos. Brooklyn twos, nearly overskated it. Atchison's in on the forecheck deep. Now Herford with it on the half wall. James plays it down low for Orth. Herford, now to James. Can't kick it up to the forehand and turning it a shot away. Cazell cut off the puck. And now Alberta is back away. Willen through center ice will dump it in as the Pandas change. Porter nearly gave it away in front of her own net. Warriors have to get back defensively now. Orth's going to be able to knock down the rolling puck and finally muscle it out to the neutral zone. And James will sweep it in as Waterloo finishes their change. Bounce pass now to Perreault. Her shot stopped. That was Clouston who came in and got the feed from Perreault, and Mark made another great stop.
Yeah, the Pandas are dominating the blue lines here. The Warriors are having trouble moving it past out of their own net, and Alberta is able to smoothly transition out of theirs and get it deep on the other side almost every time they're touching the puck here.
Here's Raitt, pulls up. Her shot into the far side half wall. Andrea Murray sweeps it behind the net. Pritchard is there too. Comes to the near side now. One hand on her stick and forcing it out there is Melnick. Perreault will chase. Back out to center ice. Pandas are going to be able to flip it right back in. Knocked down by Faith Mitchell, though, the second-year defender out of Kingston. Rolls that in, and freezing for a face-off is Grace Glover.
That looks like it'll go up as the Warriors' first shot on net. And as we said, Adam, the key to the game is how many shots are the Warriors going to be able to get on Glover. So far, 2 easy ones for her. She covered up one coming off the end boards and then just a dump in here.
Issue with the net behind Karamark, but no problems now. Brody Levitt, the former Concordia Stinger, wins that draw. McCarthy's shot, that one's blocked before it got through. Cass McCarthy missed much of the second half with an injury, came back for the Macaw Cup, and now McCarthy's got it. Wrister, and that one's blockered away by Glover. Warriors starting to get some shots towards the net now. Pizzuti goes down low. It's deflected away at the line. Levitt tries to hold. Warriors still have it inside, but now it's out to center ice where Bestick will circle away from the pressure of Reich.
Yeah, a great addition back in the lineup for the Warriors is McCarthy. She brings a ton of speed to this fourth line and is not a stranger to taking it wide and being able to snipe those short side goals.
Reagan Udall will dump it in as Alberta finishes their change. Adriana Pizzuti up along the wall, bounces out to center ice. Gracie Smith tries to kick it along. All-rookie team for the OUA, got turned over, and now King is back in for the Pandas. King back down low. To the near side, this is Morden. Jaden Morden lost control of that one, and Atchison's going to play it out to center ice. Race for it now, Emma Thornton on her horse. Gets there first. McDonald in puck support. Melnick is there for the Pandas, as is Anchor. Puck still pinned along the half wall, finally moved, and Anchor is the one with it. She will skate it up and out to the neutral zone as she's got Willen up ahead. Willen goes wide on the right wing side. Poke check there by Faith Mitchell. Now the puck is loose. Pandas have it. Turnaround firing and through the other side. The wrister came there from Lombak. Warriors are able to chip out to center ice and get a change. Keyser with Soiko coming in off the bench. Soiko, a little drop pass. Wrister is wide of the net as it was deflected. Leah Herford, the captain. Two-time FISU medalist. Up ahead for Orth. Now to James. Tatum James. Orth in front. It was just too far for her. Orth circles top of the zone. Orth, wrister, blocker, save, rebound was there. Another shot just over the net. It was deflected as Bestick came in. Herford now to Orth. Centering pass for James. Couldn't control it. Bestick's wrister blocked. Off the end boards, chopped in front. Paddled away by Glover. Top line of the Warriors putting the pressure on. Fans appreciate the effort. Herford with a steal. Leah Herford in on goal, tries to center. and it was no one there except Kaiser. Natalie Keiser. Now she's hit hard. Penalty coming up to the Warriors. Keiser went down, and the Warriors will go to the penalty kill. Carly Orth's going to get penalized here, and the officials, they'll call it boarding, I think. So the top line of the Warriors come close, but now they're forced to kill a penalty.
Yeah, this is the story all year for the Warriors. Some good offensive pressure, and then they take an offensive zone penalty. Just playing on that line of physicality, especially a player like Carly Orth. She's got some size on a lot of the players on this ice, so needs to be extra careful with how she uses her body. And
Alberta power play, 16.8%, 11th in the country. Waterloo's penalty kill, 4th in the country at 91.7%. 10 shorthanded goals in the 26-game regular season as that shot comes through and is wide of the net. Warriors scored another 4 shorthanded goals in the playoffs, 14 in total in 31 games. They are 12-0 in scoring shorthanded. They are dynamite. In fact, +1 for the year, playoffs and regular season combined, while killing penalties.
Yeah, it's an absolutely stellar penalty kill, and they're not afraid to pressure in either end, and they're able to spring for some breakaways and turn pucks over in the offensive end, leading to those 10 shorthanded goals.
Atchison fanned on that clearing attempt, but got it out to center ice. Atchison will follow up, and already 50 seconds gone in this Alberta power play. Here's Twos. Brooklyn Twos. She will go wide. Atchison lost the angle. Great stop by Mark once again, and it's cleared. Atchison, I think, wasn't sure of the speed there of Brooklyn Twos. Twos got wide on her, but Atchison got a stick in to force Twos into a far side shot that Kara Mark stopped. Only 42 seconds left in the power play. Faith Mitchell clears it to the line and out once again. All the way down the ice for Taylor Anker. Second team Canada West All-Star. James marks her. Anker. Up ahead, Soiko. Abby Soiko gains the line, goes cross ice, but it was in behind Morden. Back to the line it comes. Lombach pass down low. Another centering feed there. Bounces back to the line. Lombach. One timer comes through. Anker's shot was blocked. 6 seconds and now 5. Maybe one more chance for the Alberta power play. Down low on the backhand and unable to get to the net front. Great defensive play from Mitchell, and the penalty is over as the Warriors kill it off. High drama to start here in the Woolwich Community Centre at the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena. You won't want to miss the rest of this first period. We'll be back after this. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. C'est icitout.tv.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the gold medal game of the 2025 Miller Waste Women's Hockey Championship Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern on CBC Gem and CBCSports.ca. U Sports on CBC. Champions are made here. Adam McGuire and Amanda Smith with you back inside the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena, the Woolwich Memorial Centre. Warriors kill off that first power play. And now can they get some momentum back that they had when they took that penalty? Emma Thornton has it at center ice. Twos stops her up. Puck tied up as it's going to be forced forward by Atchison. Reich will chase it into her own left wing corner. To the blue line, Atchison kept it in. Udall couldn't clear the zone. Smith digs it out of the pile. Backhand in front, Nikki McDonald. Marked there by Cazell. McDonald with Cazell on her, tries to go to the front of the net. Couldn't get a forehand away. Porter now, cross ice. Shot from Bestick, that one's wide. Gracie Smith back to Porter. Porter kept it in momentarily. Now it's forced out to center ice. Allison Reich was dropped there by Thornton. Physicality picks up once again. Warriors fans appreciative of that effort. Here's Thornton. She'll dump it in. Kiara Raitt tries to chase it. It's batted back out to center. And now Raitt gains the line. Kiara Raitt. Kiara Raitt makes a move to the backhand. Lost control of the puck, though. Raitt couldn't get back into the line to Duffy, who had to retreat into the neutral zone, so Jalen Duffy will just shoot it right back in. Pritchard will chase. Now here comes Klusen. Klusen with some speed. Her shot kicked away by Mark. Kara Mark looks sharp in the early goings here. Now here come the Warriors. Bestick leads the rush as they change behind the play. Bestick will just pull it into the corner as she knows her mates are changing. Perreault has it with Mitchell in arrears. Mitchell, though, catches up and pokes the puck away from McCarthy. Here comes Cass McCarthy. Cass McCarthy going wide. Will shoot it back in behind Grace Glover's net. Cut off there by Brody Levitch. Couldn't center the puck with Pizzuti in front. Pizzuti now grabs it back, tries to center it. In fact, tried to go back to the point, but it was intercepted. And back out to center ice. Jordy Wyant. Fanned on that one, did Wyant. Got it back, though. Sweeps it over for Mitchell, who will lift it high off the glass and out. Brooklyn twos. Starts the breakout. Here's Peyton Lomback. Lomback gains the line. Deflected shot, rolls in on Mark, and she'll hold for another face-off here. Less than 6 to play in the first period.
Adam, you mentioned earlier the TMU Mount Royal game going on the men's U Sports side right now. That game has officially broken the record for the longest game in U Sports history as they're entering their 5th overtime period.
Well, it's a good thing for multiple browser tabs. You can keep up to date on everything. This one is started out hot as well. No score yet. Here's Carly Orth. She'll go cross ice for Herford in stride. Leah Herford gains the line. Herford shot, scores! Leah Herford, 1-0 Warriors.
And this building just on their feet, going crazy for the hometown Waterloo Warriors as Captain Herford tucks one in off the rush for the Warriors. It's exactly how this team needed to start this period. Get some tests on Glover, get some pucks into her hands, and force her to make some saves tonight.
The fan bus in front of us erupted on that shot from the captain, Leah Herford. A former All-Canadian, a multi-time OUA All-Star, Herford opens the scoring as ABBA's Waterloo rings out in the Dan Snyder Memorial Arena for the first time of what the Warriors hope will be many this weekend. They have the all-important first goal. Now the response is for Alberta to try to muster up. Too far for Magnus as she chipped it into the Waterloo zone. Too far for Herford to pick up the puck. Now Lucen will kick it ahead to Orth, who will fire it back in off the tip of the glove of Glover. McDonald in on the forecheck. She'll win the puck. Mitchell off the bench. She'll keep it in. Faith Mitchell back to the line. Smith, who's covering for her. Gracie Smith's shot off a foot and wide into the corner.
The energy's up now here with the Waterloo fans as they are wanting some more.
Perreault's trying to quiet them down as she'll chip and chase. Mitchell goes in after her. On the far side, Jordy Wyant knocks that puck away. And it's one and done once away. Here comes Thornton, one-on-one. On Melnick, Thornton, wrister, just wide. Don't know if Glover picked that one up as Thornton got the wrister away at the end of her shift. She's going off for a change. Back at center ice and dumping it in there is Haley Craig. the Lethbridge, Alberta native. Now back at center ice. It's poked ahead by Pritchard to Raitt. Raitt gains the zone. Rait's shot blocked before it could get through. Back come the Pandas now. 2-on-2. Morden makes a move. Tries to split the D. Erica Porter forces her into the corner. Lombak in behind the net. Peyton Lombak. Porter's dumped, and that'll be a penalty against her. Lombak got the hands up high on Porter, and the Warriors are up a goal. We'll head to the power play.
Yeah, it looks like that'll be 2 minutes for roughing as we go to a Waterloo Warrior power play. Waterloo 17.9, 18% on the power play this year. That's tied for 7th in U-Sport. We'll see that first line out here, that Herford-James Orth combination as they try and bring this lead up to 2.
McDonald, the 4th forward on the point. Alberta's penalty kill 88%, 13th in the OUA, kind of middle of the road. But right off the bat, they get a good clear off the face-off loss. Reagan Udall will clear the zone. Rung around, and Udall will keep it in on the penalty kill. Warriors hemmed in a little bit here, would like to get control back of this puck. James battling for it. Udall doing great work on the penalty kill to pin that along the inside boards. Finally worked out behind the net. Herford will send it back to McDonald. Warriors break it out 4 wide. Nikki McDonald. Pass in behind Herford. Herford will just try to dump it in for McDonald to chase. Izzy Lajoie will cut it off, though. Of course, her dad, Serge, a long-time head coach of the men's team at the University of Alberta, University Cup champion in his own right. Captain Izzy in her 5th year here as Alberta tries to get back to prominence on the women's side. Smith with a move inside out, and it's shot just wide. Pritchard into the corner. Atchison at the line. Lindsay Atchison walks. Gracie Smith, her shot blocked. Rebound was there, and Raitt couldn't shovel it on the backhand. Thornton couldn't center it. It was knocked down neatly out of midair by Lajoie. What a great play there by the captain of the Pandas to knock it out of midair and clear the zone with only 32 seconds and counting left here in the power play.
Pandas are bringing a lot of pressure on this penalty kill. So far, successful at it, as the Warriors are having some trouble getting set up in the opposite zone.
Here comes Herford again. Tries to cut inside out. She's upended. Puck is cleared once again off the foot of Porter. Porter, in front of her own bench, will circle and get some space. Finds Carly Orth. Through the middle of the ice, Tatum James. James, little drop for Orth. Fell off of her stick blade. End of the penalty now as James lost it in the air but knocks it down at center ice. Penalty is over. Both teams 0 for 1 on the power play. Orth, little drop for Herford, too far for her. James will skate onto the loose puck and make a move. Tatum James, in on goal! Stopped by Glover. Grace Glover got the hand up on that one as it was labeled for the short side top corner.
Yeah, nice save there by Glover. Able to get up to the top of the crease, make a save on one of the best shooters in the OUA.
Orth sends it back down low. Levitt off the bench, tries to kick it ahead. Bestick's down there too. Warriors will engage their D very deep as Orth comes in and crashes to steal the puck. Now she's pulled down, no penalty, under a minute to go in the period. Near side for Bestick at the point. Her shot, that one's blocked. Taylor Anchor got a foot on that. Pandas, as advertised, doing a great job blocking shots. Stolen here by Pritchard, though, on the forecheck. Glove down by Lombak, and the net comes crashing down as Lombak got a shoulder into Cass McCarthy. A pile-up behind the Alberta net, and luckily for Glover, she was aware that the net was coming down and got inside that crossbar.
Luckily for Glover, she doesn't stand over or close to 6 feet taller. That one might have been a little worse for wear as it kind of just encloses her, and she's able to back up in there and keep the net from getting her in the back of the head there.
Under a minute to play. Shot 7-6 in favor of Alberta. Rolling puck, swung out there by Atchison to keep it in. Pritchard down low for McCarthy. Brody Levitt to find it. Brooklyn Twos pins her along the boards. Soiko finds the disc and comes away through center ice. Clouston shoots it in. Alberta chases. Porter is there on the backhand, high off the glass, and Warriors are able to clear. Under 10 now to play, and Atchison will be careful just to go along the boards with this one and get it up and out. It is icing against the Warriors with a second left on the clock.
What do you think, Adam? A second left in the period, down a goal. Do you pull your goalie?
I don't know at this point. I mean, a clean face-off win could be dangerous, but no harm, no foul. Maybe not enough time for a second in the first period, only down a goal, but Howie Draper's Alberta Pandas find themselves trailing. The number 1 seed is down a goal to the Warriors after 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is exactly what the Warriors wanted to do this period. Get some momentum, get some shots on net, and come out as period 1 winners, as now they're in the driver's seat for the rest of this game against this 1 seed.
Yeah, and behind the goal line was where Toronto did damage. They got the eventual game winner on a 5-on-3 down low in the second period of last week's McCaw Cup Championship. Keyser now. She tries to funnel it down low. Broken up by Orth. Orth couldn't hack it out of the zone. Does battle there with King, does Carly Orth, and Lajoie will come away with the puck. Lajoie centering pass. Lomback fanned on that one. Puck still loose. Lajoie has it. King to the near side. Her shot stopped by Mark. She's out to the top of the crease and square. She makes the save. First penalty just over now, and 21 seconds left in Levitt's minor.
Yeah, it's a good save by Marks. No rebound. Allows the Warriors to get a fresh 4 out here for the last 20 seconds of this PK. Alberta with a flurry of chances here. Kara Marks staying strong.
.20 seconds left as Alberta wins the draw off the scramble. Herford tries to knock it down with her glove. Atchison's there as well. Puck still pinned along the end boards. McDonald collapses for some help for Waterloo to try to clear the zone once more. Atchison pokes it free. It's to the line. Atchison knocked down. Warriors bench thought there could have been an interference call. Herford, she's knocked down. Levitt's out of the box. Back to full strength are the Warriors. In front and turning is Morden. She couldn't get a shot away. Now Stoiko steals it inside of the zone. Waterloo back to full strength, but now they need a change. Atchison couldn't work it out. Bodies flying everywhere. Porter sweeps it in behind the net. Attacking coming from Willen from her. Now a long lead pass, and Levitt had blown the zone, but the pass didn't reach her. Delayed offside as the Warriors try to touch up. But they will blow the play dead. Just short of 8-minute mark here of the second period.
Nikki McDonald, a lot of noise in here. Not sure she could hear the offside call, so offside blown down because the Warriors were still involved in that play, not allowing the Pandas to get a breakout.
Neutral zone draw as we see Andrea Murray's line with Pritchard and Radon after the big 5-on-3 kill from the Warriors. Cazell couldn't drag it in the zone. Now Reagan Udall has it. Makes one move, but the second one she's stripped. Magnus plays it to the far side, but it's back up and out by Faith Mitchell. At the red line on the far side. Again pinned along the sideboards. Magnus tries to work it out for the Pandas. Murray is there. Turning away from her is Allison Reich. Reich on ahead to Udall. Udall dumps it in. Mitchell with Magnus on her moves it. Mitchell has it back. Rolling puck, tries to settle it down. Craig knocks her astride. Perot has it now. Perot tries to send it to the front of the net. It's cut off, and away come the Warriors. Maddie Pritchard, the vet, will try to rip it in and get a change for Waterloo. At center ice, here's Clouston. She gains the line. Clouston to the forehand. Her shot blocked by Jordy Wyant. Wyant's got a few feet in the way of dangerous-looking chances in the last few games that she's been back in the lineup for Waterloo. Wyant does battle on her knees there. Gracie Smith lost control of her stick. It was pinned behind her, but she's able to kick it on, and now Raitt bumps it ahead. Gracie Smith to chip and chase. Smith taken down in the neutral zone, no call. Fans wanted one. Here's Keyser, back the other way. Her shot kicked away by Mark. Keyser back behind the net. She goes down, and another call coming to the Warriors. Jalen Duffy is apoplectic as Keyser went down, and Waterloo back to the penalty kill.
Yeah, just another one of those calls, Adam, where definitely not intentional, but hard to not call as a stick gets into the feet and a player goes down. It's just one of those things that's going to get called every time. Unfortunate, usually the story of the Warriors season.
Yeah, Jalen Duffy didn't like the call, but again, hard to not call that one. Anchor on the power play now for Alberta as Atchison rings it around. Porter will clear the zone. Smitty, we talked about how good the Warrior penalty kill is, the fact that they're +1 killing a penalty all season. Part of the double-edged sword of that is how many times they've been shorthanded, though. They're one of the most penalized teams in the country, and it can get them into trouble. They allowed a 5-on-3 goal last week against Toronto, and they've already played much of this period as that one's offside against the Pandas. They've played much of this period down a skater.
Yeah, and the Pandas power play, it seems weird to see this, but if you watch the Warrior penalty kill enough, you'll know it's not very easy to get sustained pressure against it. So the Panda power play doing a really good job of keeping the puck in the Warrior zone and getting some grade A chances on Karamark.
Neutral zone draw, McDonald and Morden. McDonald won it cleanly, and Mitchell will scamper behind her own net, try to rip it high off the boards and out. It's kept in, though. Really good play by Soiko to keep the puck in. Mitchell's going to try to clear it again. This time off the glass. Soiko kept it in, but now the Warriors away shorthanded. Maybe a 2-on-1. McDonald with Pritchard. McDonald, shot, stop, rebound was there, and Pritchard could knock it home. Just like that, that's how the Warriors manufacture the shorthanded goals. Under a minute now in the Panda power play left. Given away now. McCarthy turns and fires. Blocker stopped by Grace Glover. Orth off the bench. Carly Orth. 4 shorties this year. Down to McCarthy. McCarthy tries to center it back for Orth. Broken up there by Soiko. Orth steals the puck back in the offensive zone. 2 Pandas try to poke it free. Carly Orth, the MVP of the OUA, doing great work on the penalty kill with Cass McCarthy. Finally, it's poked free with 25 seconds left in the advantage. Here comes Lajoie with some speed. Kaiser follows it up. Centering pass back to the top of the line. Near side, Cazell, backdoor through the feet of Keyser. Another shot, snared by Karamark from the point as Izzy Lajoie leaned into that one.
Nice save there by Mark as this Waterloo penalty kill was running around a little bit after a long kill shift by McCarthy and Orth, doing a great job pinning the puck down in the Panda zone, but then a little tired back in their own zone doing the job they're meant to be doing, killing that penalty. So good save there by Kara to get a whistle and a fresh 4 out.
Herford wins the draw, 20-on-20. Natalie Keyser lost it. Warriors get the clear. Penalty is over. Back to full strength. Herford on the back check as the puck pounces out to center ice. And inside the Warrior zone, Bestek. Up ahead, Kiara Raitt. Long lead pass too far for James. A race for it now, and it's going to be icing against the Warriors as Brooklyn Twos is there first. Right at the 12-minute mark. Warriors with a goal in each period so far.
2 Waterloo Warriors at these U Sport Championships this year. Back-to-back years, but different jerseys this time. Brody Levitt transferred from the Concordia Stingers. They were played against the Warriors here in Saskatchewan in the championships last year, as well as Nikki McDonald, who appeared last year for the University of Toronto Varsity Blues.
That shot is wide of the net as Bestek is able to force it out to center ice. Raitt comes in on the forecheck. King tries to move it fast. Raitt nearly stole it. Callie Clouston tries to play it. Cut off at center ice, though. Gracie Smith. Cross ice for Atchison. Lindsay Atchison. Lindsay Atchison goes wide. Still with it on her edges. Atchison all the way in behind the net. Tries to center it in front. Fanned on it, so she'll send it down low. Smith with a nice little move. Back to the line, Atchison. Atchison Porter, wrister, that one hit Thornton before it got through. Perreault will clear it to center ice, and Porter will retreat for it with the forecheck pressure coming heavily from Allison Reich. Porter had to move it fast. Anchor down in off the line. Swept into the feet of McDonald. Now cross ice for Emma Thornton. Stepping up there is Chase Melnick. Alberta maybe playing a little more desperately to get some sustained zone time now as they pinch up at the line. This one's going to go the length of the ice and icing once again. This time, though, against Alberta.
Yeah, you can definitely feel a little bit more energy, desperation coming from these Pandas with a little bit more pressure on the forecheck. They're sending 2 now after the puck to try and get some zone time, to try and get some shots here on Mark.
Levitt to take the offensive zone draw. A little bit of a different look here now with Pritchard and Pizzuti. Pritchard and McCarthy, pardon me. Pritchard, she's upended in behind the net. Levitt tries to center. Puck is loose! Shoveled in, but after the whistle, Levitt shovels the puck home, but a quick whistle rescues Grace Glover and the Alberta Pandas as near disaster for the Pandas.
Yeah, I think the Warriors would have liked that one, but I think it was pretty clear Glover had that one covered up.
Yeah, it looks like it. Looks like she did. So near disaster for the Pandas. They will try to find a goal when we come back. You're watching U Sports on CBC. CBC Sports is the home of university sports in Canada. Catch the best U Sports men's hockey team as they face off in the 2025 U Sports BioSteel U Cup in Ottawa. Actions underway today on CBC Gem, CBCSports.ca, and CBC Sports YouTube. TMU has won the longest game in U Sports championship history, 5-4 over Mount Royal, the 4-5 matchup, as that game has now gone final. We are back underway here in Woolwich Township, the region of Waterloo. Back behind the net. Dug out by the Pandas. And now here's Lajoie. Izzy Lajoie. She'll drive wide. Her shot through the blue pane and out the other side. Here's Jalen Duffy. Makes a nice move. Circles back inside of her own blue line, though, as she's pressured there by Lombak. Cass McCarthy up ahead off the feet of Pritchard, and she'll just kick it in and go for a change. Lombak chips it off the glass. Porter settles it down. Now Atchison. Up ahead, James chips it in. Orth on the forecheck. Pushes the pace there as Alexandra Black reverses it around back behind her own net. Pass a little too far there for Reagan Udall. And the Pandas are turned back into their own zone. First one there is going to be Herford for the Warriors. Back to the line, Porter. Cross ice, Atchison. Walks in off the line, doesn't have a shooting lane she likes. Tries to center it in front. James will come and pick the puck up in the corner. James kicks it along for Atchison. Atchison tries to march to the goal front. A little poke check there, and the puck rolls to Grace Glover, who will freeze for a faceoff.
One of the big question marks for the Warriors coming into this season was going to be their defensive end. They lost 4 of their last top six defense, graduating last season. And so far, that young defensive core has been fantastic. Atchison leading that defensive core, and we've seen great seasons so far from Porter and Duffy as they've stepped up to fill some of those top 4 defense shoes.
Yeah, Duffy in her 3rd year, Porter in just her 2nd. Both regulars in the lineup for the first time this year. Soiko in behind the net. Keyser. Natalie Keyser. Soiko pinned there so Gracie Smith can skate away. She'll turn. Button hook and have McDonald. Gazelle cuts off McDonald. McDonald puts her hands up, apoplectic that there's no call. Now maybe a 2-on-1 with Soiko. Soiko in front it comes, and it's shoveled just wide by Willen. Madison Willen went to the goal mouth. Couldn't corral it. Puck was too far behind Smith, otherwise the Warriors might have had a 2-on-1. It's back inside the Waterloo zone though, where Wyant up ahead. Here's Murray. Rate goes to the net. Murray shot. Rebound is there, and Murray couldn't get it towards the net. It was cut off by 2 Pandas sprawling back on the back check. Rate back to the line. Bestick walks. Near side Duffy. Bestick. Her shot off a shin pad. Jalen Duffy turns it back down low here for Murray. Murray walks. Wants to center. Instead will go back to the top of the zone. Jalen Duffy. Bestick back to Duffy. Duffy winds, fires, and a fearless shot block there. Allison Wright got a hand on that. She got in that shooting lane from Jalen Duffy's heavy slapper.
Yeah, great job by the Pandas there, getting in shooting lanes. 3 block shots on that shift, keeping the Warriors off the shot clock.
Duffy drops, and Pritchard ripped it just wide. Up ahead, too far for Lajoie. Murray flips it back at center ice. Rate shovels it on in. Izzy Lajoie overskated that one. Now she's back on it and pokes it on ahead as Morden skates onto the loose puck on the right wing side. Morden tries to cut to the middle. Swept off her feet there by Porter. Now a centering feed and a back check by Levitt is going to draw another penalty here. Maybe saved a goal though, as Alberta's going to go back to the power play. Extra attacker on with the delayed call. Here's Soiko. Soiko curls and drags and fires it high. Peyton Lomback off the wall. Soiko had it jump on her. Warriors want a touch and nothing more right now. Soiko still with it. Soiko shot wide. It will go all the way to the near side boards, kept in at the line by Lomback. Morden finally touched by Levitt, who will be whistled for a hook. And Smitty, when we talk about good penalties versus bad penalties, I think that's one head coach Sean Regan, associate coach Dolly Meggs, Emma Cheeseman on the assistant coach post as well. They'll be pleased with that one. That was maybe a tap-in on the back post that Levitt took away.
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, we never want to say there's good penalties, but there's definitely better penalties. And yeah, Brody Levitt getting back on the back check, just maybe a little bit too gleeful in the body positioning there, and she'll go back to the box.
So Alberta back to the power play. You get the sense this is a big one with 2 minutes and change left in the period. If they can get back on the board here. James nearly had it poked out for a shorthanded break, but it was kept in. Atchison's going to roll it back to James, who swings and misses and couldn't clear the zone. Taylor Anchor on the near side. Herford marks her. No real room to breathe yet for Alberta on this power play. Lomback back to the point. Anchor. Anchor gets it back from Willen. Anchor. Now one-timer comes, kicked away by Kara Mark. Abby Soiko pounded it on the blocker side, but Mark off her blocker and all the way back into the neutral zone. Nearly stolen here by Herford on the forecheck, as she will go for a change. Keyser at center ice. She'll circle around. Alberta comes in 4 wide. James tries to cut Keyser off. Natalie Keyser still with it. Curls at the half wall. Cazell at the line. Onto the far side, twos. In front it comes and wide of the net. Keyser. Cazell. Cazell, wrister, stopped by Mark through the traffic. Crunched into the boards there is Atchison, no call. Warriors fans don't like that. They've taken the last 4 minors. They think they're owed one, as that one's cleared to the line and out. 36 seconds left in the power play, less than a minute to go in the period. Here comes Twos. Brooklyn Twos on the right wing side with some speed. Twos all the way in behind the net. Twos Doesn't have a shooting lane she likes. Now goes backdoor. Morden couldn't settle down the bouncing puck. Morden now cuts to the middle. Morden's shot blocked. Again in front, that time by Orth without a stick. Anchor, fake shot, twos, one-timer. Didn't get all of it, blockered into the corner. Twos with it again, penalty almost over. Battling along the sidewall, there's McDonald. Penalty is over. Warriors have killed it off. Levitt's back out of the box. Here's Orth back with her stick, and she'll force it out to center ice with 12 seconds left in the period.
Yeah, that was good awareness there by Orth, realizing that there was a tie-up, and she had time to run back to the corner and grab her stick.
Orth now, seconds ticking down, can't get the backhand towards Grace Glover, and that will do it for a high leverage second period, as the Alberta Pandas give up another goal and they fall behind the 8th seed in the OUA finalists, the Waterloo Warriors, who take a 2-0 lead through 40 minutes. Quick look at that last chance here and some highlights of the period. This is Nikki McDonald's chance that almost made it 3-0. Yeah, she had Glover cutting across the net, but the shot wasn't as accurate as she wanted. This was almost the goal of the century. Leah Herbert looks up to the rafters. She knows that she just about pulled that one out of her hat. And then this, the Cass McCarthy rifle on the short side, picks the corner. The only goal of that middle frame.
Yeah, 2 good periods here from the Warriors, winning each one 1-0. So they're in exactly the spot they want to be heading into this third period.
We'll go down to ice level. Sarah Saeed.
I'm with the Waterloo Warriors head coach, Sean Regan. Coach, it can be a lot of pressure to be the host of a championship and play at home. What have you done to combat it and stay in the lead here?
Well, I think it's outstanding that we're at home here, and I mean, we got off to a bit of a slow start. We were really prepared. We thought we were a little nervous going in, and then after 10 minutes we started to roll a bit, and I think we're really finding our game here.
And what's the focus heading into the third period?
Well, stay out of the box. So I think the focus is to just keep getting pucks deep, keep using our team speed, getting pucks to the net, and doing a good job in the D zone. We've been really doing a great job in the D zone right now.
Thanks, Coach. Back to you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you very much, Sarah. After 40 minutes, the Waterloo Warriors lead the Alberta Pandas 2-0.
We are athletes.
Do you know what Husky athletes are made of?
Determination.
Hustle. Resilience. We're part of a team and a community.
We work hard for every goal.
And every grade.
Do you know what Husky athletes become?
Pharmacists.
Teachers.
Professionals.
Olympians.
When you invest in student athletes, you invest in the future. When you elevate her, you elevate the game. Watch women win.
Everyone watches Husky women's sports.
See her, be her.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
No way! Thank you. Are you serious? Merci, wow. I can't believe I won. It's crazy. Oh, that's great to hear. I just love the game, and I'm just so thankful.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Welcome back to the 2025 Miller Waste U Sports Women's Hockey Championship on CBC. After 40 minutes of play, the Waterloo Warriors lead the Alberta Pandas 2-0. Let's take a look at our second period stats here, Smitty. And the shots favoring Alberta, but not by a ton. Power play opportunities definitely, as we heard head coach Sean Regan talk about, favoring Alberta.
Yeah, that's 10 minutes of penalty minutes for the Waterloo Warriors that period. That's half the period. So if the Warriors want to continue this momentum and keep getting goals on the board, they're going to have to either pull some of those shorties we like so much out of the hat or get back to some 5-on-5 play.
Yeah, that'll be key for Waterloo here to try to hang on to this 2-goal lead through the last 20 minutes, stay out of the box, and maybe generate another couple of opportunities. All the while, Kara Mark's been outstanding for the Warriors through the first 40 minutes, and Waterloo's got a couple of timely goals, which for them is exactly the recipe they had coming into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what both teams bring at the beginning of this third period.
So it's time once again for our U Sports Champion Spotlight, brought to you by PepsiCo Foods Canada. Cole McKay, we sit down with him, and he's the winner of the AUS Student Athlete Community Service Award. We'll hear from Cole right now.
Hey, changemakers. Change it up. Turn ideas into action. Passion into purpose. And questions into real solutions. Because whatever path you choose, here, you'll make an impact and get ready to change the world. Make your change. Discover your story at Waterloo.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Feel every hit, goal, and celebration as if you're standing right on the sideline, immersing you in the game like never before, bringing heart-pounding action directly to millions of fans. We deliver unparalleled simplicity and tailor-made digital broadcasting solutions crafted to make you feel every moment in a way like never before. Our passionate team ensures your message reaches audiences reliably every time. Proudly Canadian, we bring a touch of innovation and our passion to the world stage. ISI Live, be there.
Hey you sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team Collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
Aussi bon que Messi! C'est pas aussi mauvais que la cigarette, ça?
C'est juste une vapoteuse.
Fais-toi pas d'illusions.
Vapoter, c'est jouer avec sa santé. Brise l'illusion.
At Miller Waste, we're proud to sponsor the 2025 U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. There is lots of trash talk on the ice. At Miller Waste, we talk trash every day. We serve over 2 million Ontario households weekly, transforming more than 175,000 metric tons of recyclables and organic waste into reusable resources. Proudly Canadian, family-owned, always driving hard to the net. Let's make a difference. Game on.
U Sports on CBC, presented by les championnats U-Sport à Radio-Canada, une présentation du gouvernement du Canada, the Government of Canada, Nike, Fox 40, Veraburn Medical Supplies, Les Bag Baron Rings, BioSteel, and by par les systèmes Miller Waste Systems.
Welcome back to the 2025 Miller Waste U Sports Women's Hockey Championship. Quick scoring summary in that second period, Smitty. Just the one goal. Cass McCarthy at .310. Shot 7-5 in favor of the Pandas. And the Warriors, though, have the 2-0 lead after 40 minutes. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
I'm from a small town in Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie. Grew up playing hockey from, almost the time I could walk, and it's a family pastime. I have an older brother. My mom, dad are great. Everyone's in the family is so supportive. I like to think I'm an outgoing person. I work really hard, care about my teammates, my friends, girlfriend, parents, everyone. So I'm just a really attentive and caring guy, I think, and I like to have fun in doing whatever I'm doing, whether that be at the rink, something to have fun with at school, at the library, wherever it is. So I'm just always trying to enjoy myself, see the best in every situation, and have fun in my university years right now. Within Ontario, there's a few schools that try to recruit me, and there's all good options. There's so many good universities in Canada, and but then when UNB called, the first phone call, I knew it was a special place, both to get your degree, but also, continue your trajectory as a hockey player. And it worked out just as planned. And as you know, that's not always the case. And throughout your life, like, things happen. Hockey Gives Blood is an initiative through Canadian Blood Services. Stu Middleton, he's based out in Western Canada. He kind of recruited me, amongst plenty of others across Canada, to join and be an ambassador for the program. So what it is pretty much is using our platforms, athletes. So starting in the CHL and the OHL, we kind of have notoriety within our communities. So kind of leveraging that to just promote awareness, promote people that, first of all, how easy it is to donate blood, how important it is, and to share stories of how it truly changes people's lives. I look back just personally on how I got where I am today, and there's so many people that helped me along the way. It starts with my parents, but it goes into, teachers, coaches, trainers, doctors, nurses. There's everyone. But as you go through your life, there's certain people that make a significant impact. And volunteering is something that a lot of people just misstep, and they don't give the credit it deserves, I don't think. So as young people, you kind of got to reflect, realize how you got where you are today, and just say, okay, well, I'm going to do my part now and kind of give back to the community. We're very lucky to help somebody achieve their goals like people help me achieve mine. Find your passion and just give back. And we're super lucky to be in the position we are, to be able to play a sport and go to school. And it's just super important to give back, in my opinion.
Welcome back to the 2025 Miller Waste U Sports Women's Hockey Championship from lovely Woolwich Township in Waterloo region. Waterloo Warriors lead the Alberta Pandas 2-0. Adam McGuire and Amanda Smith with you. And Smitty, we talked about this in the first intermission, what Howie Draper will be talking about in the Alberta room. Their mission is pretty clear coming into this third period. What about Sean Regan? We heard him talk to Sarah on the sideline there heading to the break. Talked about staying out of the box. What else is key here for the Warriors? Because they're in this position where they don't want to sit back and try to protect this lead. It's that 2-goal lead, the worst one in hockey. But they also don't want to get caught pushing for a third to allow Alberta to counter the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can probably give a little more insight into what Sean Regan is saying in there, being privy to a lot of those conversations over the last 2 seasons. And this is really just a special group that needs to have fun to win games, and they need to just make sure they're staying out of their heads, they're keeping the energy high, they love feeding off that energy from the crowd, from each other, and if they can keep their energy up, and they can keep the play flowing into the Panda end, they're going to come out on top today.
Yeah, that's a big part of this Warriors team is how loose they can get. And you know, it was a heartbreaking loss for them last Saturday. They were trying for a back-to-back OUA championship bid at home. They got down 14 seconds into that game from the Toronto Varsity Blues. They were down 3-0 after 40 minutes. They had a furious comeback bid that came up short, but there was a bit of a sense that maybe facing adversity now when you qualified for the tournament as the OUA finalist might not be the worst thing. And that's the one thing that these Alberta Pandas will have to look for. They have gone on an incredible winning streak here. They haven't lost in regulation since October. They had a 13-game win streak to end the regular season. They lost their first playoff game to Mount Royal in overtime, then rattled off 4 straight wins again. So for them, they really have been in the driver's seat of pretty much every game they've been in since Halloween, essentially. Now they're facing a 2-goal deficit, so Waterloo maybe can capitalize on the fact that they kind of faced some of that adversity last week and not coming away with the OUA title and a 5-0 playoff run that they were looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And this Waterloo team, again, not your average 8 seed. Maybe not what Alberta was expecting out of them. These 2 teams are virtually strangers to each other, only seeing each other on video throughout the last, 8 years now. So feeling each other out, and Alberta just not able to take it to Waterloo in the way they're getting it taken to them. So this third period, they're really going to have to play with some desperation and try and get some chances in on Karamark. And they have had some, and Karamark has been great back there for the Waterloo Warriors. And maybe Alberta just hasn't seen this before, where they're getting their chances and they're playing how they want and still coming up short.
Yeah, and we talked about the penalty issues the Warriors had that second period. Head coach Sean Regan in the ears of the officials there, not demonstrative by any means, but just maybe a brief but stern conversation about understanding what a call is and what it isn't. And you'd also have to think, Smitty, just, kind of by the rules of hockey, the unwritten rules, that the next one likely to go towards Alberta. So, the lesson from head coach Sean Regan, too, is don't give the officials an excuse to call another one on us, because chances are we'll get the next power play if we just keep moving our feet.
Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely something Regan always likes to do, is just remind the refs after a string of calls like that there's 2 teams out there, and you might want to try and call this a little bit more even, but we'll see what this third period brings as Waterloo will try and stay out of the box.
Shots 14-11 in favor of Alberta, scored 2-0 in favor of Waterloo. One more period here for the Warriors to try to hang on and punch their ticket to the national semifinal for the second straight year against Concordia Stingers. The Alberta Pandas, Canada West champions, they will try to mount a furious comeback here. It's in the feet of Soiko, and she turns and rips a high wrister that's gloved down again by Mark. As Abby Soiko unleashes that wrist shot we've seen once again. It's a wicked wrister, but Mark tracked it right into the glove.
Yeah, Soiko getting the look she likes. 10 goals over 18 games played, 20 points. Getting those looks here in this game, but Karamark has been equal to each and every one.
Here's Emma Thornton. Through the middle of the ice, little drop back from McDonald to Smith. Smith and McDonald crisscross as they enter the zone. Gracie Smith. Back to the line, Porter. Cross ice, too far for Aitchison. Lindsay Atchison rips it in behind the net. McDonald to Smith. Cazell pins her along the corner boards there. Puck is still pinned, and finally trying to move it now are a pair of Warriors. Orth will try to sneak in to steal it, but Soiko comes away with the puck. On ahead for Madison Willen. Far side, Abby Soiko puts the inside foot down, but she's ridden into the end boards there by Atchison. Carly Orth will pick up the loose puck, and she'll start the rush. 3 wide for the Warriors. Orth with Herford on the far side. She stays onside as Orth will try to drop it back to the point. It's intercepted. And back to the red line. Lajoie pressures, but Duffy moves it.
Yeah, the Warriors on a change there, so Orth looking for a defenseman back on the blue line, but nobody home.
Duffy, who came on after that change, will cycle it down across for her partner, Sarah Bestick. Floats it out to center ice, does Bestick. Bumped back into the Warrior zone, but only for a moment. Herford unable to clear. It's knocked down there by Lajoie. She'll send it in deep and go for a change. Morden sends it back down. Lombak. Back to the top of the zone. King's wrister. That one's wide of the net. Lombak fights for it. Can't get a shot towards the net. And James will have Orth up ahead as Orth will dump it in and chase and get the Warriors a change.
Yeah, long shift here for this top line of the Warriors, as Orth now will complete that line change after about 2.5 minutes.
Magnus dumps it on in. Here's Faith Mitchell. Up to Maddie Pritchard from Richards Landing, Ontario. Pritchard winding down her U Sports career after 5 seasons of eligibility, 6 total with the COVID year that was wiped out. Heart and soul player for this Warriors team. Pitched in and to the side of the net. Glover's going to freeze it, and Kiara Raitt and Sarah Cazell exchange some pleasantries. Smitty, I thought that might have been the next call that goes to Alberta.
Yeah, Raitt committing no foul except stopping in front of the net and getting a nice little shot there from the Panda defender, something you do usually see called in these games.
Raitt, one of the smartest and mildest, nicest people you'll meet until she puts her skates on. Plays with an edge.
And definitely knows how to draw a penalty.
Back on the attack, Alberta. Porter rides Soiko into the end boards. Centering pass intercepted by Murray. We'll see lots of the Soiko line. We see them right back on the ice again. Taylor Anchor as Howie Draper shortens his bench. Here's Willen. Willen, her wrister. That one was going wide off the glove of Mark. Now maybe a chance for the Warriors to get a rush going. Stood up there by Soiko at the line. Flips it on back in and played by a high stick as Mark settles it in her crease. So a stoppage here and a face-off coming inside the Warrior zone.
The ref looked to be making some kind of signal there, but maybe just stopping the play. I was a little bit worried we were seeing another penalty call there.
Alberta wins the draw. This is King. It's down behind the goal line. Herford shoves Morden off stride. Jaden Morden looks over to the officials. Orth gains the line for Waterloo. Carly Orth tries to swing it in behind Herford. She's tied up there with Lajoie. The two captains do battle. Lead pass ahead. Orth lifted the stick of King, and Herford's going to try to race onto that puck. Herford buried there by Brooklyn Twos. James rescues the puck out of the rush. James back to the line. Bestick walks, wrister. That one wide of the net. I don't know if Glover found it. Now off the line, Duffy's shot. Didn't get all of it. It rolled on her, and Glover tracked it into her glove.
Yeah, Glover hasn't been tested much since those 2 goals of the Warriors. We'd love to see some more shots get on net, whether that's from the Warrior point or from that dangerous cycle they can get going down low.
Allison Reich and Brody Levitt in the dot. Levitt's going to get waved here. McCarthy will take it. Alberta wins another drop. Cazell couldn't clear. Brody Levitt can't find it either. Backhanded in behind the net by Allison Reich. Magnus flipped it on ahead. Clouston dumps it in. Chasing after it is Reich. Alberta changes their D. Pile up in the high slot. Puck is loose and batted to the line, not out. Anchor kept it in. Taylor Anchor now, her shot. Easily saved there by Karamark. Pizzuti long lead pass, and here's McCarthy. Partial break, Cass McCarthy. Caught there at the last moment though. Great back check by Chase Melnick to make sure Cass McCarthy didn't get a shot away for her second of the game.
Yeah, McCarthy kind of at the end of a shift here. Usually has some pretty good wheels on her.
Smith drags and fires. Warriors smartly leave that in front of their own bench. It could have been too many skaters as this one's too far for Atchison, and icing is the call against Waterloo.
Yeah, fortunately Waterloo were able to get a line change in right before that, so no players stuck on the ice here as it heads back to the Warrior end. Like I said, Adam McCarthy usually has those wheels, but just right at the end of the shift, looked a little slower than usual there, but a great back check by the Pandas to take away an awesome scoring chance.
Willen, she kept the puck in, and now a great sliding shot block from Lindsay Atchison. Veteran defender as Waterloo will once again ice the puck. McDonald can't race back fast enough. Alexandra Black is there, and the third-year education major from St. Albert, Alberta, earns an icing for the Warrior against the Warriors.
This Warriors team usually averaging about 33 shots a game here, and you can see how this Alberta defense keeps the shots away from Glover. So many blocks, so many bodies in the lanes. The Warriors having trouble getting shots from up high, and really all their chances coming off the rush.
Yeah, low shot, low chance game, but Waterloo has made good on theirs. Twos from the line. That one's wide. Off the end boards. Fire back through. Twos at the line. Cazell. Too far there for Peyton Lomback. And the captain, Izzy Lajoie, can't chase it down. Twos down and off the line. Porter can't hack it away from her. Atchison, nice little move to pull it away, and now a nice stop up by Atchison, who gets the zone cleared for the Warriors. Now Thornton pokes it past. Maybe a 2-on-1 with Smith. Thornton wrister off a stick and wide. In front, and almost hit Thornton and went in. It hit the top of the glass and bounced right into the goal mouth. It almost hit Thornton in the Warrior crest and bounced past Glover.
Yeah, Thornton had Smith there as a trailer. Smith wanted that one, and she can rip the puck pretty well.
Cazell now cuts. Little drop pass too far. Holly Magnus has to skate after it into the corner. Thornton now ahead for Murray. Murray kept it in the zone. No, she didn't. Raitt fell and didn't know it was a delayed offside, so Kiara Raitt touches the puck unwillingly. Offside the call against the Warriors.
Yeah, Cazell on that last rush, I think had a little more time and space than she thought. Already set on that drop pass back to the weak side. If she had kept taking a few strides there, she might have had a wide open chance on Karamark.
Jaden Morden and Andrea Murray to take the draw. Morden won it. In the feet of Melnick, Pritchard steals. Into the corner, Pritchard couldn't center it. Taylor Anchor was able to get a stick on that. Fifth-year education major. We will see all kinds of number 4 in green and gold for the rest of this game. Morden up ahead, Willen. On to Morden on the give and go. Morden drags and tries to fire, but it's blocked there by Duffy. Pritchard able to fork it out to center ice. Soiko lost control there, and here's Raitt. Couldn't turn on a dime quickly enough. It's the end of her shift, so she'll just dump it in. King. Annie King. On to Anchor as Alberta chips it back into the offensive zone. Forecheck steal there by Keyser, but the Warriors earn the puck back. Wyant's going to move it fast. James up ahead. Here's Herford. Leah Herford goes wide. Lomback pins her into the sideboards. As the Warriors are back in the neutral zone. Now Mitchell will turn and go. Mitchell, her wrister. Oh, deflected and didn't miss by much on the far side.
Yeah, the Warriors not afraid to test Glover, just missing a few shots wide. Those are the kind of shots you'd love to see get on net and force Glover to make a save.
Lajoie lost control of that puck in her feet. Keyser tries to get it out. It's kept in by Atchison. Herford, she's crunched into the boards. Warriors fans again thought there could have been a call. And Orth and Lajoie exchange a couple of shoves with the puck pinned underneath Keyser and Herford.
Yeah, Orth standing up for her captain there. She got buried into the boards and exchanging some words with LaJoie as she skates off the ice.
Past the 8-minute mark of this third period. McCarthy, her shot, that one off a foot, didn't get through. Stolen again by the Warriors. Pritchard couldn't turn and get a fire away as Kloofston knocks it down. Atchison centers it in front. It was off the foot of Pritchard. McCarthy was coasting at the top of the slot but couldn't get the puck. Alberta hemmed in a little bit here now. McCarthy with a steal. Couldn't move it on though as it's flipped back out to center ice, and Atchison will come back down for it. Icing is the call against Alberta as Lindsay Atchison takes the, let's call it circuitous route, Smitty, to ensure the icing call.
Yeah, I'm not sure Atchison took a stride after the hash marks there, so nice glide in there to get the icing call against the Pandas.
Had the alligator arms working though, looked like she was taking strides. Warriors get the benefit of the icing call here though.
Yeah, it's just a masterclass in forcing an icing call there by Atchison.
Smith wins the draw. Quick shot there by McDonald is blocked off the faceoff. Allison Reich skates it out to center ice. Duffy into this corner. Little backhand on for Bessick, and Waterloo comes out 3 wide. Gracie Smith chips and chases. Melnick gets in the way of her. Anchor can't move it behind her own net. It's to the line, and Magnus gets it up and out. Now maybe a break for Willen. Willen in on goal. Stopped by Mark. What a save, Kara Mark, on Madison Willen.
Yeah, Duffy there taking the wrong angle and gets beat, but Kara Mark there to back her up.
Back come the Pandas on the attack. A high shot rising into the shoulder there from Jaden Morton as Kara Mark has it again.
Mark, such a solid presence for the Warriors here all season long. In the OUA finals last week, McCaw Cup, just a weird bounce off the hop, put the Warriors down early, but besides that, Mark has been super strong in these playoffs for the Warriors, and this will be her first appearance at a U Sport National game.
Backed up Michaela Schnarr last year. In behind the net, a pile up of bodies once again. Jordy Wyant's going to move it on for Pritchard. Pritchard pokes it on for Kiara Raitt. Raitt into the corner it goes. Raitt and Pritchard pull it out. In behind the net, unable to get away from the pressure there was Lajoie. Now a centering feed through the paint. No one was there from Pritchard though. Lombach has it through the neutral zone, makes a move. Peyton Lombach still with it. Peyton Lombach spins it on goal, stopped there by Mark. Neat little move by Atchison to start the rush for the Warriors. Another one as she was poke checked at the line, but got it out to center ice. And twos with Sarah Cazell now on the back end for Alberta will start the rush back for them. Holly Magnus lost control of that. Now here's Orth with Herford. Orth in front, tried to center it, but it was stopped by the paddle of Grace Glover. Got in a little too deep for that pass.
That's a great stop there by Glover.
Delayed penalty coming again to the Warriors. Herford's going to touch it up. And Waterloo is going to get charged here with a slashing call. Atchison's going to go to the penalty box. And we will step aside as the fans show their disapproval. So the Warriors with a penalty to kill here in the third, up 2 goals. You're watching U Sports on CBC.
Le sport en direct sur icitout.tv. 100% énergie. 100% gratuit. Votre meilleur plan de match pour voir des performances exceptionnelles sur l'appareil de votre choix. c'est ici tout.tv.
This is a call to empower, to unite, and to celebrate the bold in all their glory. It's time to own the ice. Are you ready?
Welcome back. 2-0 Waterloo leads Alberta midway through this third period. As we'll take another look at the penalty here, Smitty. Atchison called for the slash, and the fans didn't care for it much. Didn't look like a ton there. Our next game, by the way, tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, UBC takes on the Quebec champion Bishop Skaters, as quarterfinal number 3 will open day 2. Batted up and out by Nikki McDonald. She was spilled. Warriors fans again wanted the even up call. They're not going to get it. Herford and McDonald killing the penalty here for the Warriors up front. Now James on the ice. Back end, Bestick and Mitchell. Herford. All kinds of pressure on Taylor Anchor. And finally Lombak's going to circle back in her own zone. Peyton Lombak got in towards the line, but knocked away, and Herford clears the zone once more. Taylor Anchor turns up ice. Gains the Waterloo zone. In front it comes, and the stick lift there by Porter made sure that pass couldn't connect to the high slot. Soiko winds and fires from the point. Stopped. Rebound was there momentarily, but it pinballs off a foot and out to center ice. Another penalty coming up behind the play against the Warriors. No, it's going to be against Alberta. They touch up the puck. A cross-check call to Jaden Morden, and that will end the power play. Fans appreciative of the even-up call, I guess we'll classify it, Smitty.
I guess you could say that, Adam. Yeah, a little bit of a cheap shot to Erica Porter behind the play is going to draw the second penalty of the game for the Alberta Pandas.
So we'll play 4-on-4 for 57 seconds. Face-off in the Alberta zone. Waterloo will then go to the abbreviated power play. Lajoie to the far side, Porter. Porter, Bestick with some room. Sarah Bestick's shot blocked there by Lajoie. McDonald couldn't corral that pass down low. Sarah Cazell will try to turn away from the pressure and has the captain, Izzy Lajoie. Lajoie pulls it all the way to the Warriors zone and in behind the Waterloo net. Keyser hops on it, tries to center it, but Cazell was knocked away. Now maybe a break if McDonald can track it down. Nikki McDonald sends it in front. What a move! Bestick stopped! Glover with her biggest save of the night.
Yeah, huge save by Glover as Warriors were coming hard and fast on that one. And Bestick getting all of it, but a great save by Glover to turn it away.
Soiko beats out the icing. Pinned there by Bestick, by Herford. Penalty is now over. Waterloo to the power play. Anchor knows it, and she will circle back to try to kill some of this precious time on the power play. Orth turns it back up ice. Now a 2-on-1. Smith with James. Gracie Smith scores! Gracie Smith pulls the roof off the Woolwich Memorial Centre. 3-0 Warriors.
Smith, like we said earlier, a freshman coming to this Warrior team, has such a sneaky snapshot that's given her 9 goals on the year. That'll be her 10th, her first at a U-Sport National Championship, and that absolutely blows up the Waterloo fan base inside this arena.
take another look at the Gracie Smith goal. It was a 2-on-1. She wanted to shoot the whole way, Smitty, and James knew it. She pulled back to try to pot a rebound if there was one. Smith made sure there wasn't. She rips it home. It's 3-0 Waterloo. It's a power play goal as Waterloo is able to kill the penalty, the 4-on-4 time, and then get the power play goal.
Yeah, I love the decision there by Smith to take that shot on the 2-on-1. We saw Herford take a shot off the rush earlier as well. And just, again, forcing Glover to try and make some of these saves has been the key to success for the Warriors tonight.
Really nice move by Anchor, but has the puck taken away from her. Now Waterloo's back on the rush. Nikki McDonald carries in. Willen tangled up there with Atchison as Sarah Bestick can't cycle behind the net. Anchor. She'll try to funnel it towards the goal mouth, but it's intercepted by the Warriors, and now they're back 3 wide again. Levitt goes to the goal mouth. Levitt in front to the backhand, stopped and covered up, but Levitt will draw a penalty. Brody Levitt went to the backhand. Grace Glover lost in that, made a great save. But Waterloo back to the power play here with just under 6 minutes to play. And a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, another one of those penalties, Adam, that we might say better than the others is Levitt had a clear path to the net there. Was looking to go forehand, backhand. And maybe a good penalty to take there, as she might have had a wide open net there on Glover.
To the power play, the Warriors back on it. McDonald. Bestick, and now Herford. Morden gets the call for hooking. Bestick. Herford. Orth, little give and go. James shot, stopped by Glover. She'll hold for a face-off. And yeah, oh, it looks like Alberta's going down another after the whistle.
Yeah, it looks
penalty's gonna come to Natalie Keyser.
Yeah, sneaky little chip shot there to the back of Tatum James's ankle. It's gonna earn the Pandas another 2 minutes.
1 minute and 39 seconds of 5-on-3. Was just going to say, too, Smitty, lost in the play with Levitt in front. We talked about good penalties. Jaden Morden had to take the hook there. Levitt was all alone. But now Alberta in some serious trouble, down 5-on-3 for an extended period of time. Can Waterloo add to their lead? Tatum James, Nikki McDonald behind the goal line. They will play some catch with it. McDonald on to James. Finally intercepted there by Anchor. A good read by the veteran D Anchor there, and she'll clear the zone. Orth back for it. Waterloo was trying to set up something in behind the goal line with the two forwards down there. Anchor finally said, I can read this, and did. Collision at center ice, no call. Another collision in front of the bench, and that's going to draw a penalty. Tatum James and Taylor Anchor, that was Sarah Cazell, exchanged some shoves. And James is going to go to the box. Things getting a little chippy here as we creep towards the end of the third period, and Alberta looks more and more in need of a miracle.
Yeah, a little bit of vengeance there, I think, from Tatum James, as she was dumped behind the play. And then Herford as well, dumped mid-ice. And James standing up for her captain there after a couple of shots by Alberta Pandas. And again, Adam, maybe a little biased here, but if I was standing behind that Warriors bench, I think that Tatum James penalty might be a good penalty to take as well.
Yeah, that's very possible at this stage of the game. Herford's going to move it on out, and maybe a 2-on-1 if she hurries with Orth. Herford goes wide. It's a 4-on-3 power play for the Warriors. Back to Porter at the line. Porter wrister into the glove of Grace Glover.
And just both teams here, emotions high, need to be careful as this is a short form tournament, but it's also a long weekend of games, and you wouldn't want to do something here to lose one of your players for this weekend, whether that's to injury or to some kind of punitive action.
It'll be the timeout called here, and I think it's from Sean Regan and the Warriors bench. Or Draper. Yeah, Howie Draper's a little puzzled here too. I don't know if he's saying I didn't call the timeout, but someone has called the timeout here, Smitty. And it's a 4-on-3 power play here for the Warriors for 40 seconds until they'll go 4-on-4 for 21 seconds, pardon me. Quick math.
And if I had to guess, Adam, it's Sean Regan calling that timeout to tell his girls to take a deep breath. We have a 3-goal lead. Let's get out of this game and start focusing on the next one.
Yeah, Waterloo's the team that doesn't have to make anything happen here, right, Smitty? Alberta, things more desperate for them. And we'll have to start taking some chances. Pandas facing the possibility of going down as the 1 seed here. Atchison walks the line, gets it back. Atchison, one-timer, Herford stopped. Orth tries to center it. It was through the feet. Now Atchison, her shot just wide. Herford lost it in her feet, couldn't find it. King's going to try to move it outside of the zone, but can't. Orth steals the puck. Orth in on goal, shot stop. Rebound is there. Jam play, and down is Glover as McDonald is leveled by Anchor. Fisticuffs picking up a little bit again here after the whistle as the Warriors come close.
Yeah, the Warriors digging for that 4th goal. We mentioned goal differential can matter here in this tournament.
Face off to Glover's left. 14 seconds left in the 4-on-3 power play. Warriors win the draw once again. Atchison. Herford couldn't send it down low. Atchison onto her captain. Cross ice now McDonald. McDonald in front. Orth, it was off her foot. She couldn't find it. And it was wide of the net. She was on the back post. Now 4-on-4 as Jaden Morden comes out of the box. Puck pounces there to Orth though. Atchison. Herford tries to shoot it on goal. Instead, she'll just whack it to the far side. McDonald circles. Nikki McDonald tries to toe drag there on the captain, Izzy Lajoie. And now the Warriors have to get back. Blowing a tire there is Keyser. She's out of the box as a abbreviated power play comes. Grace Glover to the bench. A 6-on-4 advantage here for Alberta with under 3, just about over 3 to play, pardon me. 3:10 and counting, in fact. Centering pass. There, a stop by Mark. Kicked it away. Abby Soiko thought she had a first goal for Alberta.
Yeah, an opportunity on the rebound there, too. As a rebound slipped out off Mark to the short side there, but no Panda there to clean it up.
Warriors back to full strength. It's a 6-on-5 advantage. Up ahead it comes for Maddie Pritchard. Pritchard with an empty net, but she's just content to take it 200 feet from her own goal. McCarthy steals. It bounced too far for Pritchard. Now McCarthy steals it back and tries to slide it towards the empty net on the sharp angle. Here comes Natalie Keyser. Entry cut off there by Bessick. She'll bounce it back, but not out of the zone. Gracie Smith does battle along the half wall. Keyser's there. It comes to the line twos. Cross ice. Cazel's shot hits the traffic in front. Puck is still loose. More traffic in front. Blocked by the Warriors. Unable to clear, and a hard shot there was over the net. Keyser was wide open, but couldn't hit the goal.
Yeah, not sure if that got a piece of Kara Mark or if it just came off the stick in a strange way, but either way, that one not in the back of the net.
And it bounces off the stick of Sarah Cazel and back out to center ice where Twos tries to gain the line. It's cleared back down the ice. Rolling puck towards the empty net, just wide, icing the call against Waterloo.
Yeah, that slow trickler had some anticipation coming from the crowd, but just wide, and that'll go back to the Warrior end for a face-off.
Waterloo in search of a second straight national semifinal against Concordia. Alberta in search of returning to the top of the mountain for the nation-leading 9th time, but the first time since 2016-17. They will call their timeout now to try to draw something up here. What can you draw up if you're Howie Draper, though, if you're down 3 goals with 95 seconds on the clock?
You wonder if Howie Draper, an experienced U Sport coach, 27 years in U Sport, 1 year with the PWHL last year, if he just wants a goal to try and get that goal differential down in case of a potential tiebreak is the difference between a bronze medal game or not.
Face-off will be in the Waterloo zone after the icing call. Shots 21-19 in favor of Alberta. Waterloo has made good on the chances they've gotten. And a face-off win here by Gracie Smith in the defensive zone. Raitt couldn't muscle it out. This is Soiko in the corner. Now Kieser with it. Back to the top of the zone twos. Brooklyn twos. Willen. Cross ice, Anchor. Anchor tries to send it on goal, but it's cut off, and Duffy on the backhand clears to the line, not out. Now taken out by Gracie Smith, and she'll muscle it to center ice. Levitt moves it on ahead. Raitt is there too and knocks it past twos. Raitt and twos get tangled up. Under a minute to play. Puck pinned behind the empty Alberta net. Brody Levitt and Kiara Raitt. Unbelievable forecheck work as Levitt is buried and play is stopped. We'll see a face-off in the Alberta zone.
Yeah, fans in Woolwich appreciative of that effort from Brody Levitt and Kiara Raitt as they're able to pin the puck down in the zone, and these fans can smell a W for their Warriors.
45.4 as you see on your screen left in this one. Grace Glover will have to come back in for the defensive zone face-off. Fans get riled up again. Alberta wins the draw, but Atchison's going to just knock it back into the corner. Pritchard is there. Pritchard sends it in front. Atchison couldn't get a shot away. Atchison and Pritchard, forecheck. Herford's shot. That one's hit some traffic in front as the Warriors try to push for another one. Taken away finally, and Morden is going to be knocked off stride. She can't get up and going. 20 seconds left now. That'll do it. It's going to be cleared back down the ice. Icing will be the call here against the Warriors. And nobody heard the stoppage in play. I think the clock ticked for another second or two as the fans rise to their feet here in the region of Waterloo. The first time ever that the Warriors have hosted the Women's Hockey Championship. And they are giving their fans, Smitty, a pretty good show here on day one.
Yeah, absolutely. You never like to see an 8 seed in front of your team's name, but the Warriors proving here that they're much more than just the 8th seed in the U-Sport National Champions.
Waterloo knocks off the top-seeded Pandas. Kara marked the shutout. The Warriors win. A goal per period, Smitty, for the Waterloo Warriors, who claim a 3-0 victory in quarterfinal number 2. And we've seen 2 statistical upsets here in day one. The 5th seed will meet the 8th seed in the first national semifinal on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
we knew coming into this tournament, Smitty, that we talked about it. Any of the 8 seeds could have been at the top of the bracket, and the Warriors proved that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll be a rematch of last year's semifinal U-Sport action where Concordia was able to get the better of these Waterloo Warriors, but just a great job here by the Warriors to get themselves back in a position to win a semifinal game.
The OUA finalists and hosts are on to the semifinal. Saw associate head coach from the Concordia Stingers, Caroline Ouellette, down in front of us doing some scouting, no doubt. That game will be on Saturday afternoon. 2 more quarterfinals tomorrow. We take a look at some of the highlights from today. Leah Herford opened the scoring in the first period with this rifling wrister that beat Glover. It was a huge goal for the Warrior captain to ignite this crowd. Warriors were able to keep the pressure on as the physicality picked up throughout that second period as well. Some of the Warriors fan clubs and family members. As Kiara Wright got acquainted with Sarah Cazell. This was the big one for the Warriors, the second goal early in the second period, where McCarthy ripped it short side, a beauty. She made no mistake as Atchison put it behind the net. Pizzuti as well back there, and look at that rifle, Smitty. Top shelf. As we take a look at some of the other highlights, Kara Mark outstanding. We will hear about the night team players of the game for both teams. Players of the game will be awarded by Garrett Rank, the honorary chairman of the tournament. Elmira, Ontario native, former Warrior golfer and hockey player, current NHL referee, Garrett Rank. Abby Soiko, the player of the game for Alberta. She was dangerous all night. Kara Mark just had the answer. And the night team player of the game for the Warriors is Leah Herford, the captain. Game winner in the first period. She was every bit the top player in this program. She's the league's MVP from 2023 in Ontario. She's a veteran. She's a gold medalist for Team Canada. And now night team player of the game today, as Smitty Herford really carried the load in that first period for the Warriors.
Yeah, absolutely. A notable exemption from the first team All-Canadian rounds and OUA rounds this year. She missed a few games there for FISU, but still managed to be in the top 5 of scoring. Won a silver medal this year with Team Canada and comes back to lead her team to a quarterfinal win here against the #1 seed, the Alberta Pandas.
Final shots 21-19 in favor of Alberta. 3-0, the Warriors win it and set up a rematch of the national semifinal from last year. Seeds were just flipped. Waterloo won the 4-5 game last year. Concordia won the 1-8 game. And a little bit of a role reversal. As we take a look at some more of the game highlights. Abby Soiko was a menace all night, but Kara Mark had the answer. This is the Gracie Smith goal, the final one that salted it away for the Warriors. Huge win for Waterloo. So, for Amanda Smith and Sarah Saeed, my name's Adam McGuire. Thanks for joining us on CBC Sports, New Sports Hockey.